Welcome to DIY Salvation, home to the resolution of the mind, also known as TROM. The following presentation is the video adaptation of the first chapter of our free ebook, read by Tim Rowe. We're going to give you a comprehensive overview of what TROM is, how it works, and what it can do for you. Let's get started.
Before I tell you what TROM is, it's best I start with what it isn't. It's not some pop psychology quick fix or wishy-washy feel-good method. It's not some peaceful activity where you sit on a mountaintop and breathe a certain way. What we're talking about is putting an end to the games you've been playing with your mind. It's challenging, it's dramatic, and it's also an absolute joy. I can almost guarantee that a few weeks into your TROM practice, you'll consider it the greatest adventure of your life. You'll get into the now, in touch with the present, no longer stuck in the past. Emotionally charged memories diminish into ones that you can calmly recall. The guilt over one's misdeeds and the anger over what others have done fades away, and the inner conflicts, the arguments one has with himself, are settled. These are the benefits that I've experienced and others have reported to me. There are other possible benefits, but I'll leave those as pleasant surprises to discover on your own. We'll start with what a postulate is. A postulate is an intention. You could also say it's a goal or a purpose.
Examples of postulates are, I'm going to have that member of the opposite sex. People are going to read the novel I just wrote. I'm going to forget this ever happened. No one must ever find out what I did.
Postulate is a $5 word that actually has a very simple meaning, but many misunderstand it at first. Dennis discovered there are 4 basic postulates: to know, to not know, to be known, to not be known. All postulates contain an element of one or more of those basic ones. Without postulates, there are no games. Postulates in conflict bring about games. Postulates in agreement end games. Let's say you have a woman who doesn't care either way whether or not she has a man. This woman gets attention from men with some harmless flirting. This woman overwhelms men into paying attention to her. She's interested one moment, and the next, she is not. Without postulates, there are no games. When you persuade others without force, you play a voluntary game. Harmless flirting is a good example of a voluntary game, and so is chess or basketball. The woman who must be known wants your attention to the degree that you now must know her. Let's say such a woman wants the attention of a man and he ignores her. He's resisting her must-be-known postulate by not knowing her. We now have a compulsive game. Just for the sake of demonstration, let's say the woman is so bent on getting his attention, one day she overwhelms him. He's forced to change his postulate. He must know her. She is forcing to know, and he is forced to know. And what about a woman who wants a man then rejects him? She not only opposes the postulates of others, but she also opposes her own. She wants to know a man, and as soon as one approaches, she not knows him. She's operating on a postulate and it's negative, to know and to not know. When one adopts a postulate and it's negative, they're in a state of insanity. She's not going to get carted off to the loony bin just for teasing men like this, but it's insanity nonetheless. She also may behave this way because she wants to be known and not be known at the same time, which is also insane. From these examples, we now know the 4 conditions or states one can be in, from the highest to the lowest. Most of us are compulsive games players. We must be seen or heard. Others must agree with us. This or that must not happen. We've thrown convincing others of our postulates by communicating or voluntary games out the window, and now just force others to see things our way. These compulsive games are settled by overwhelms, or the conflicts just go on, never resolving, and perpetuate in our minds. Ever try and forget a past event but you can't? Ever find yourself arguing with someone in your head? Those are two kinds of compulsive games one plays with their mind. Conflicts, overwhelms, past trauma all form what we call mental masses. A mental mass is a tiny amount of substance in the mind. Let's see how this could happen and how one could handle it. Earlier in life, a man was bitten by a dog. That event remains in his mind as a mental mass. Later in life, he goes to a friend's house to watch the game, but his friend has a dog. He sees the dog and wants to go home. Whether he's aware of why or not, he identifies that dog as being the same dog that bit him as a child. For the sake of our example, let's say he's aware of why he's afraid. He tells his friend about his fear of dogs because of being bit. His friend asks, "Was the dog as big as this one?" And he answers that it was. Was it the same color? Not exactly. This dog's name is Sparky. What was the other dog's name? Rusty, he answers. He reaches down to pet the dog, no longer afraid. He's aware the dog has some similarities to the dog that bit him, but he can now more clearly see the difference between the dog from his past and this one. He forgets about his childhood trauma for the moment. He and his friend watch the game and all is well. The theory I've just explained to you can be formulated into a body of knowledge about the nature of the spirit, mind, and life, which in turn can develop into a highly effective therapy, one that can even be applied to oneself by oneself. On TROM level 2, one views objects from his past next to ones in his present. The man attacked by a dog can view that dog next to an object that's different, noting differences between them. He also notes similarities between the dog from the past and similar objects in the present. The longer he persists on this exercise, the less command power his past has over his present. The viewing of the past and present simultaneously is called time breaking. You break the illusion of time by doing it. On TROM level 3, instead of just looking at objects, you contact past incidents in full while maintaining awareness of your current surroundings. One continues until the incident diminishes in intensity, then fades back into the past. When you've time broken enough of your known past, to the point you can bring objects, people and events up to the present and none of them bother you anymore, you then address the overwhelms that led to the upsets. On level 4, one gets the idea that he's being forced to know, and moments when he was overwhelmed like that will surface, and he time breaks them. When he's done enough of that, he gets the idea of preventing from being known, and events involving him preventing another from being known will surface in his mind, and he will time break those. He continues down a list of overwhelms like preventing from knowing, forcing to be known, and so on, punching them into his mind, time breaking more and more as he goes through cycles of stimulating his mind, then resolving the incidents. On level 5, he not only gets the idea of the overwhelm, but also how his opponent's postulate overwhelms him. He puts a postulate of must be known outside of himself. Many prefer to put such in an object, and then he puts the postulate of must know where he is. After he time breaks all incidents that show up, he then creates a postulate conflict and does more time breaking. He guides himself with the postulate failure cycle chart, which shows him which postulates to work with and in what order. Now, you may be wondering why I didn't mention level 1 first. It's because I don't think one truly appreciates the value of level 1 until they know what the other exercises accomplish. So I'll explain now. These exercises will rid you of a great deal of mental mass. Don't worry, your memories will still be there, they just won't be upsetting anymore. But losing mental mass makes you feel imbalanced, and you'll attract more mass to yourself to replace what you've lost. That's why on TROM Level 1, you learn to replace lost mental masses with mental creations of your own. It's a terribly simple process of creating things around oneself, then getting the idea someone else is creating things around you too. It's very simple, but make sure to watch the video or read the instructions in the manual before you try it. TROM exercises de-intensify the upsets that form mental masses in the mind by viewing the past and present simultaneously, then handles the postulate conflicts in every possible combination in order to rid oneself of all upsets from the past. This will end the game you're playing with your mind. You'll arrive at a no-game state where you can choose whether or not to play such games again, and if you do, it won't be so serious. You will be calmer and much happier about life. You don't have to know the whole subject of TROM to start benefiting from it. Just watch the video on Level 1 on our Start Here playlist, and in as little as 15 minutes you'll learn it and be ready to do it. That's all it takes to begin the greatest adventure of your life, resolving your mind and freeing your soul. We are DIY Salvation. Don't just use your mind, resolve it.
Hi, I'm Madeline Tandry of DIY Salvation. We hope you've enjoyed our introductory video on the resolution of the mind, also known as TROM. Don't worry if any of this went over your head the first time watching. We have dozens of videos on our channel explaining every aspect of TROM. And make sure not to miss our next TROM 101 video on the 8 classes of overwhelm, which further explains the cycle of postulate conflicts and recaps some of what we've covered today. If you have a question or comment on this video, you can write to Roger at bettertrom.com or TROMGuides@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit us online at bettertrom.com for text, video, and audio study. For now, stay connected by subscribing to this channel so you don't miss any new content.